What happens when the Green Lanterns trade cosmic battles for a small-town mystery? Welcome to Lanterns. Excited to talk rings, mysteries, and a whole lot of Nebraska.
I'm Garrett, curious and ready to explore. And yeah, I'm totally here for grounded superhero vibes.
Welcome to Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. Today's topic is Lanterns, the American television series on HBO.
I've got a soft spot for detective stories, cold cases, motives, the why behind the what. Lanterns pairs that with superhero lore I grew up with, so when a Green Lantern show said it would be more true detective than space opera, I leaned in. It's like getting a noir violin solo over a sci-fi beat. Strange combo on paper, but honestly, it sings.
So, basics. Lanterns is a superhero drama on HBO created by Chris Mundy, Damon Lindelof, and Tom King. Mundy is the showrunner, which just means he's the lead creative decision-maker across writing and production. It's based on DC Comics' Green Lanterns, specifically Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. But instead of zipping around the galaxy all the time, the show roots itself in Nebraska with a murder investigation that ripples into alien territory.
And it's part of the DCU, which is the shared continuity of DC Studios' films and series. That's the new umbrella connecting projects like Superman and Peacemaker. Lanterns threads into that world, but stands on its own. Think of it as an HBO crime drama first, superhero series second. The Hook, veteran Hal Jordan mentors newly recruited Jon Stewart, and their case digs into big lore like the Guardians of the Universe, who are the ancient overseers of the Green Lantern Corps, that interstellar police force powered by will.
Set mainly in Rushville, Nebraska, the tone is grounded. Two timelines, 2016 and 2026, crisscross a single mystery, and the character focus is the point. The show is designed as an HBO-quality event, 8 episodes, weekly. It ties into the DCU's broader story without dumping homework on you. That's pretty cool, right?
Let's unpack where it came from. Back in 2019, producer Greg Berlanti, who helped shepherd a lot of DC TV, had a more cosmic Green Lantern series at HBO Max. Over time, that morphed. By late 2022, James Gunn and Peter Safran took the reins of DC Studios and reframed the plan. In January 2023, they announced Lanterns as a grounded, detective-driven show starring Hal and Jon. Then, in June 2024, HBO gave it a straight-to-series order, meaning no test pilot, just go make the full season.
Casting the leads was a journey. Industry chatter said big names like Josh Brolin or Matthew McConaughey were in the mix at points, but the confirmed pairing became Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan and Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart. Chandler brings that steady, world-weary vibe, and Pierre has this cool, understated intensity. The strategy was clear: prestige drama energy over flashy spectacle, without ditching the lore fans love.
Production-wise, DC Studios and Warner Bros. Television shot in Los Angeles and at Warner Bros. Burbank. Piru, California doubled for Rushville, Nebraska. James Hawes, who's known for high-end TV work, directed the first 2 episodes to set the tone. Stephen Williams, Geeta Vasant Patel, and Alex Sakharov also helmed episodes. Cinematographers Armando Salas and Florian Hofmeister leaned into overcast plains and night highways. That gives it a small-town crime texture you can practically smell.
Speaking of the look, costume designer Cynthia Summers kept things practical. The lantern suits are muted, more working gear than shiny spandex. Hal's got that faded, almost leather jacket feel, nodding to the Earth One graphic novels and older comic takes. Production designer John Pano built lived-in spaces. The Stewart family home, for example, was constructed on a Burbank stage and sprinkled with military memorabilia and architectural sketches. You get story in the set dressing.
Now, the heart of it is Hal and Jon. Hal Jordan here is older, a former test pilot and legendary Lantern getting close to retirement. He's training Jon Stewart. The Guardians worry about what Hal might have picked up from his old mentor Thal Sinestro, who's now corrupted by fear energy and leads the Yellow Lanterns. Sinestro is played by Ulrich Thomsen, who brings charm with menace. It's not cartoon evil, it's unnervingly persuasive.
Jon Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, is unique in this canon. He's the first Lantern recruited directly by the Guardians, instead of being chosen by a ring that detects willpower. He's both a Marine and an architect, so discipline plus design brain. That matters because a power ring creates energy constructs limited by imagination and will. John thinks in structures and systems. It shapes how he builds solutions, literally and ethically.
The dual timeline plays like a conversation across a decade. In 2016, you feel groundwork, family histories, early choices, the first threads of the case. In 2026, those choices rebound. Along the way, you meet Sheriff Carrie Kane, played by Kelly MacDonald. She's protective of her town and her family, and she becomes a careful point of connection with Hal. On the local side, there's the Macon family, Garrett Dillahunt as William and Poorna Jagannathan as Zoe, who add texture and moral friction to the town's loyalties.
And Nathan Fillion shows up as Guy Gardner, the brash Green Lantern we met in the DCU film Superman. He's deliberately high-strung here. He's like a human stress test walking into a quiet room. His presence links the show to the film side without breaking the tone. Also popping in are deep-cut elements like the Manhunters. Those are the Guardians' old android enforcers whose failures haunt current policy. And institutions like Checkmate, a covert ops group, plus Salvation, an interdimensional prison. They're connective tissue, not billboards.
Why Nebraska, though? My read is that it compresses scale. When cosmic secrets hit a town where everybody knows each other, trust fractures feel bigger. The show treats willpower and fear not just as sci-fi energies, but as social forces. A small diner, a sheriff's office, a family farm. When an alien in disguise, like Chris Coy's character posing as Waylon Sanders, slides into that environment, it's instantly unnerving. The ordinary makes the extraordinary pop.
I like that. It also fits the marketing arc. Early teasers downplayed Green in the suits, leaning into those True Detective, Slow Horses vibes. Then later trailers showed ring constructs, Sinestro, and Laura Linney as a guardian of the universe. That drip feed signals, hey, come for character and mood, stay for the cosmic. Stephanie Economou's score helps too. Minimalist tension with subtle sci-fi color, so when a big ring moment lands, the sound lifts with it.
Let's tie this to the creative team. Chris Mundy, who worked on Ozark and True Detective Season 4, steers the ship. Damon Lindelof from Watchmen and Lost is a creator here, and Tom King, a comics writer known for layered character work, also created and produced. Their shared goal, a why-done-it, rather than a classic whodunit. That means the offender's motives matter more than the mask. And that fits Green Lantern thematically. Will and fear are interior states before their light shows.
Production timeline was tight and intentional. Filming ran February to July 2025 in LA and Burbank. Piru's Main Street became Rushville, complete with a built diner. Directors locked tone early. Hawes set the template. Williams and others carried it forward. On the post side, editor Emily E. Green favored pacing that lets performances breathe. Not wall-to-wall action, more pressure cooker scenes with eruptions. It's a choice that risks feeling slow, but it also builds stakes.
Performance-wise, Chandler's Hal is seasoned, dry-witted, just a touch haunted. You sense Sinestro's shadow when he weighs a gray area call. Pierre's John has a cool, contained presence that hints at the Marine training and the architect's blueprint brain. Director James Hawes called Pierre forceful and understated. That combo anchors the show's conversations about race, service, and institutional trust without turning it into a lecture. It's character first.
Then the rollout. Lanterns premiered in August 2026, 8 episodes released weekly on HBO and streaming on Max. Critics were largely into it, about 95% approval on Rotten Tomatoes with an average around 7.65 out of 10 and a generally favorable 72 on Metacritic. Praise went to Chandler and Pierre's chemistry, that grounded Americana vibe, and the human scale stakes. Some folks wanted more cosmic spectacle sooner, which, yeah, fair note, but the show's identity is the slow reveal.
Impact on the DCU is smartly measured. Checkmate and Salvation appear as tools, not takeovers. Guy Gardner bridges to the Superman film, maintaining character continuity without forcing Lanterns to match that movie's tone. And because James Gunn and Peter Safran gave Mundy room to tell a full, self-contained arc, it seeds future stories without cliffhanger handcuffs. Season 2 was discussed as a possibility depending on ratings, with writer Christopher Cantwell joining Mundy to break ideas if it moved forward.
Speaking of rollout, the spicy part. The first teaser briefly vanished and got re-uploaded with different music because of an expired license. It originally used Bruce Springsteen's State Trooper. Rumors swirled that the swap meant creative second-guessing or a response to chatter about not enough green in the marketing. Entertainment Weekly refuted that narrative and said it was just the music license. Happens more than people realize.
Real talk, I think the marketing restraint worked. Start with a moody Americana tease, let people meet Hal and John as humans, then escalate to constructs and Sinestro. It shaped expectations toward character and tone. Could that have undersold the cosmic appeal to some fans early on? Sure, but later trailers brought the yellow fear iconography back in, and that felt earned.
I see that, but I kind of wish they had shown one clean, unmistakable ring construct in the first teaser. Just one. Like, here's the promise. We're not hiding it, but we're not leading with it either. Why not anchor both audiences at once, prestige drama folks and comics fans, in the same 90 seconds?
Maybe because surprise is a form of punctuation. Hold back the neon so the first big green moment hits different. It's like a string quartet saving the crescendo for the third movement. But I get your point. A single, unmistakable construct might have quieted early worry without breaking the vibe.
Pop culture positioning is tidy. It's the third DCU series, connects lightly to Peacemaker via Salvation and Checkmate, and nods to Superman through Guy Gardner. Stylistically, it wears True Detective and Fargo on its sleeve, bleak highways, small-town tensions, humor that cracks through the gloom. And crucially, it avoids becoming a Guardians of the Galaxy-style space comedy. This is more Logan energy, stripped down and bruised, but with rings.
Here's a what if. Back in the Berlanti era, the plan featured Alan Scott in 1941 and Guy Gardner in the 1980s, with Sinestro in space. Imagine that had gone forward unchanged outside the current DCU continuity. You'd have a time-spanning anthology feel. Alan's 1941 story, closeted FBI agent by day, mystical lantern by night, could have been a period procedural with identity themes baked in. Guy in 1984 would carry a Cold War punch. Sinestro's rise could be a separate high cosmic thread.
Totally. And if that non-DCU track hit first, today's Lanterns might not exist as a grounded detective piece. We'd have two parallel Green Lantern canons on TV. Alan Scott could have recentered the mythology around mysticism and legacy, while Guy Gardner pushed brash Americana. Sinestro in space might have delivered the big spectacle fans wanted, but we might lose the focused Hal John mentorship that lets the show ask, what do you inherit from flawed institutions and mentors?
And character arcs would diverge. Jon Stewart's unique origin, chosen directly by the Guardians, probably wouldn't anchor the story the same way. Without Hal as the older partner on Earth, we'd miss that Murtaugh-like energy, the seasoned cop who knows the cost of crossing lines. Instead, we'd map courage and fear across decades of different lanterns. It could be rich, but less intimate.
In terms of the wider DC world, a non-DCU Green Lantern series would mean fewer crossovers. No Guy Gardner handoff from Superman, no Checkmate or Salvation tie-ins. That can be freeing. But I like that Lanterns proves you can link universes through institutions and tone, not just cameos. It's a cleaner weave.
So, detectives with power rings, a mystery in Nebraska, and a universe quietly expanding around it. Stay curious, keep looking for the why behind the what.
And keep exploring new angles. There's always another thread to pull, another light to shine. Catch you next time.